What is up, guys? Welcome back to the 5th round, your preview for UFC Phoenix. Now, of course, we are back Sunday night with a heavyweight clash. It's Cain Velasquez making his return against the heavy hitter Francis Ngannou, probably the scariest man in the heavyweight division at the moment. So yes, Cain is returning after spending time with his family and having a 2-year layoff. Now, Cain Velasquez does hold a record of 14 wins and 2 losses, and his last fight was against Travis Brown inside the heavyweight division, of course, and it was performance of the night at UFC 200. Now, moving on to Francis Ngannou, of course, his most recent fight was in November in Beijing against Curtis Blades in a rematch, and he did get a round 1 TKO. The man hits hard, that's what we know. He hasn't got a wrestling ability yet. He's only been in the game for 5 years. In fact, he said in his media day today that 5 years ago he just typed in on YouTube UFC heavyweight champion, and of course the man Cain Velasquez, his opponent, popped up, and at that point he had known not much about the sport, and it was just what people had been saying, and through word of mouth what the UFC was. So it's kind of a full circle there. He's come from researching who Cain Velasquez is, what the UFC was about, to now fighting him, and he did call him out 2 years ago. Now, Francis Ngannou has had 2 defeats this year against Derek Lewis and Stipe Miocic. Now, that was the infamous obliteration of Alistair Overeem the month before, and he got thrown into that title fight, which was way too early in his career, against Stipe Miocic, who just wrestled him for 5 rounds, and rightfully so. The man hits too hard, and if you get hit, you're going to be going to sleep pretty much. So to keep him on the ground, gas him out, and of course it was his first 5-round fight, we must remember, of his career, and he just wasn't ready for it. And potentially another 5-round fight, who knows if he gasses out. Now, the key points to Francis Ngannou winning this fight is, of course, his knockout power. He hits hard, and if Cain Velasquez takes one on the chin, it could be night-night for him Sunday night. Now, this is more likely to happen in the first round. After 5 of his fights in the UFC, this is the Francis Ngannou has gone and finished in the first round. So he gets in, gets the job done, and gets out. Not bad from the man who used to be digging sand mines. Now, for Cain Velasquez, I think he should be pretty much using his wrestling. He has excellent wrestling, of course. He trains with Daniel Cormier, Luke Rockhold, and of course Khabib Nurmagomedov, all former champions. And of course Daniel Cormier is current heavyweight champion, which is dependent on what happens Sunday night. Cain Velasquez could very much put himself back into that title mix, with Daniel Cormier holding on to it until the Brock Lesnar fight. It's interesting what's going to happen there. Obviously, I don't imagine Cain Velasquez and Daniel Cormier fighting each other for that title. So, what happens with the division, I don't know. Now, I think the longer this fight goes on, it benefits Cain Velasquez, although he has had a 2-year layoff. So whether the cardio and his engine as a whole can keep up with him, octagon rust. And I think Francis Ngannou has made improvements. We know against Derek Lewis he did get scared of being taken down and being manhandled. And for a man of his size, that can't be good for the ego. Now, he did get a knockout against Curtis Blades in Beijing, and it looks like everything's in full order again for Francis Ngannou. So for me, I have to go with Cain. This is 60-40 here. I think Cain Velasquez, it'd be my first time watching him fight, which is an honour. I'm loving this time seeing Anderson Silva fight. Cain Velasquez making his comeback. BJ Penn, of course, Lyoto Machida, I've seen fight now. So these pre-era for me, I've come through the Conor era, of course. So the pre-era fighters, watching them is amazing. And I think Cain Velasquez is going to come back and probably get, if it's a unanimous decision or a later stoppage, it's going to be to Cain Velasquez, unless he gets tired and gets hit by Francis Ngannou. But I do believe Francis Ngannou is going to struggle with the gas tank as well, especially if the wrestling and the takedowns of Cain Velasquez is something that we see a lot of. So yes, I'm going to have Cain Velasquez win, but I won't be upset if Francis Ngannou knocks him out in the first round. In fact, that would be amazing as well. So we are on to a winner. Francis Ngannou knockout or Cain Velasquez masterclass with takedown, striking, ground and pound, and all that in the UFC on ESPN. They have treated us brilliantly this year so far. So yes, let me know what you think of the fight. We have, of course, got Paul Felder versus James Vick and Cynthia Calvillo versus Courtney Casey. So it is a good night of fights, but it's really the heavyweights that all eyes are on this Sunday. Now, of course, we have got Bellator as well, We've got MVP versus Paul Daly on Saturday, which is brilliant for the UK scene on Sky Sports. Now, of course, I will be recapping that on Cage Chat along with Sunday's fights. So yes, make sure you drop a like, share and comment who you think is going to be victorious. Is it going to be Cain? Is it going to be Francis Ngannou? And what's going to happen at Bellator tomorrow? Or tonight when this is out, rather. Make sure you subscribe to Cage Chat and I will see you on the next one.